This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South today, a veteran activist returns to his roots and the scene of one of the 1981 Springbok Tour Games where he led protests against it. Student art is to the fore at the annual OUSA Art Week on the University of Otago campus. And about 20 teams of sled dogs are set to mush as hard as they can at Cardrona's Snow Farm at a South Island competition. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Yesterday marked 40 years since the South African rugby team played against Otago as part of the Springboks' infamous 1981 tour of New Zealand. Anti-tour activist John Minto visited the site of the former sports ground yesterday and paid tribute to those who marched against South Africa's racist policies.
Former Dunedin boy John Minto is dismayed that Carisbrook, the sports ground where he spent much of his childhood watching both cricket and rugby matches, is now a pile of weeds and rubble.
Well, I can't believe the whole Carisbrook's gone. It was a big part of my growing up here in Dunedin. I was here till, I was born here and I stayed here till I was almost 13. My family went to Napier, but I spent so many Saturday afternoons here. I can't believe it's all gone. Yeah.
Minto was a leader of the group HEART, which stood for Halt All Racist Tours, and he opposed the way New Zealand rugby broke the sanctions in place against the racist nation of South Africa. By the time the tour reached Dunedin, there was a sizable contingent of police and barbed wire to keep protesters away.
There was a real flurry in Gisborne and Hamilton where we were able to get close to the grounds, and in fact in Hamilton we were able to get on the ground and stop the game, which had an enormous impact in South Africa. But after that the government poured enormous resources in to ensure that the tour would go ahead. I mean, Muldoon wanted the tour to go ahead because in the provincial marginal electorates there was strong support for the tour. And so the resources were poured in, and so the stadiums were turned into fortresses, and it was very difficult to get very close to them at all.
Minto says he was pleased with the number of people from Dunedin who marched against the tour.
To arrive here in a really big crowd was great. We were, when I joined the protest, it was at the Oval, back at the Oval. So, yeah, I mean, it was a great day for Dunedin to say no to racism, and I think so many people did.
Minto was 28 years old at the time. Now at 68, he recognises that the tour actually helped people become more aware of the issues of apartheid and racism.
I think we got people thinking much more deeply about what was going on in South Africa and racism in our own country. And I think South Africa and New Zealand are both better for having had the tour here.
South Africa started dismantling its discriminatory policies in the 1990s, and Minto is now involved with a protest group called Global Peace and Justice Auckland.
There's unfinished business, that there's a big fight against apartheid, or the apartheid policies of Israel against Palestinians, and the big human rights organisations around the world are calling that out this year, so this year's the turning point. So we're wanting to highlight that and get New Zealanders behind the Palestinian struggle.
In Dunedin, the South today.
Highlanders co-captain and veteran hooker Ash Dixon is heading to Japan on a 2-year deal to play in the new Japanese League One competition set to begin in January 2022. 32-year-old Dixon has also played 19 games for the New Zealand Māori All Blacks and received 2020's Tom French Cup for Māori Rugby Player of the Year. He says it was a difficult decision to leave. Dixon brought up his 100th game for the Highlanders in the Sky Super Rugby Trans-Tasman final against the Blues this season. Highlanders CEO Roger Clark says Ash Dixon has co-captained the side with halfback Aaron Smith over the past few seasons and has been one of the club's most consistent performers, adding to the mana of the side. The long-running Otago University Students Association Art Week has been a showcase of a myriad of artistic styles. Organisers say this year's week of artistic endeavours wrapped up with an exhibition and a market held in the University of Otago's Link building.
Thousands of people flow through the University of Otago Link building, checking out the vast array of artistically created goods on offer. This Art Market Day is one of the highlights of the Otago University Students Association's Art Week, and events coordinator Shannon Van Rooyen says it shows how much of a creative hub the university is.
Yeah, there are lots of creative people around, and again, like we have all sorts. We have some kids here selling their works that they've done for some pocket money, right up until like people that have established businesses. We've even got Blue Oyster, the art gallery, on board as well, and they've come to display their work. So it's been pretty awesome to see what everyone's come up with.
Maya Morrison-Middleton and Tan Scott from Blue Oyster Art Gallery say art is an important part of everyday culture, and their gallery is an excellent launching pad for budding artists from all walks of life.
So I think it's really important for students to come and support those artists as they're graduating and venturing out of universities. Yeah.
Artworks entered in the annual competition line temporary walls in the Union Hall, with styles ranging from classical to highly contemporary. Amongst the art and craft stalls offering clothing, jewellery and much more is a selection of curiously shaped scented candles. Dunedin Cat Rescue were also holding a stall with a wide selection of items aimed at raising funds for the charitable organisation.
I'm here representing Cat Rescue Dunedin Student Association, and we have a stand here today at the Market Day, and we're just trying to sell some of the various things that we make as students to try and support Cat Rescue Dunedin as a charity itself.
Amber Cost says this is just one way they raise funds for the cause. The OUSA's Shannon Van Rooyen says the week is all about celebrating the arts. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Fears of financial losses for the Dunedin City Council have proven unfounded, with the council having beaten its budget projections by more than $8 million. The grim spectre of COVID-19 prompted council staff to forecast a budget deficit of almost $3 million for the last 12 months. But waste and environmental revenue has gone up almost $2.5 million. Aquatic Services is another strong performer, raising an extra $500,000 for the council. So instead of a loss, the council has finished in the black to the tune of $5.5 million. Sled dog teams are competing at the Cadrona Snow Farm between now and Saturday. Over 20 dog teams are taking part in the event, which is the only opportunity in the South Island for sled dogs to run against each other.
Yesterday saw Julian Lucer of Oxford run his dog team at Cadrona's Snow Farm during a practice run for the Wanaka Sled Dog Festival. Sled dog owner Sarah Campbell says they're hoping for chilly weather over the next 3 days so that the dogs don't overheat during the races.
Well, we're hoping for nice cool temperatures, always preferable for the dogs, but pretty much whatever weather we get thrown at us, we'll be able to just take that on board and we'll go out and have a really good run.
Now in its 25th year, the annual festival is the only South Island snow racing opportunity for dogs, with more than 20 mushers competing in events ranging from single dog to 8 dog teams. The races are being held in the mornings only between now and Saturday, starting at 7:30 a.m, with spectators welcome to watch.
If they stand at the finish line just well away from where the teams are coming in, they'll be able to hear the timekeepers talking about who's coming through and what times they're doing, and see all the dogs coming up the valley.
All competitors are members of either the South Island Siberian Husky Club or the Southern Region Sled Dog Club, with no teams able to come over from Australia this year due to closed borders. In Wanaka, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we see how Otago and Southland house prices fare in the latest QV House Price Index, and we have this week's edition of Football Chat. So catch this and more after the break.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We have a massive manufacturer's clearance plus. There's liquidated stock from our suppliers. For example, we have cotton casual trousers from 1990, dress trousers from 1990, merino zip pullovers, fashion shirts, warm winter shirts, jackets. There's a great deal on overcoats, blazers and suits. Come and check out our jeans. We're known for our jean selection.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Come in and see the massive manufacturer's clearance at Alex Campbell Menswear.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air, and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Be sure to tune in to Football Chat every week, where we chat about local football fixtures, results and everything else that's happening in the local game.
Welcome back. The growth in house prices for Otago and Southland is below the national average, according to the latest QV House Price Index. Nationally, growth in house prices slowed to just over 4% over the last 3 months, while Otago and Southland slowed to just over 3% growth. The average house price in the south is about $620,000. Queenstown Lake sits at the top with an average of almost $1.5 million per home. Gore is the cheapest area for houses, with prices averaging less than $400,000. Dunedin Homes averages almost $680,000 apiece. In this week's episode of Football Chat, Matt Kelly and Rahan Ali talk with 2 local players about their games last weekend.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Football Chat, hosted by myself, Rahan Ali, and my cohort and co-host, Martin Kelly.
Yes, today we are joined by Connor Neal from South City Royals and Lindsay Robinson, who's a referee. What inspired you to become a referee?
So originally I was always kind of watching my brother play football, and I didn't play till quite late on, but did really quite quickly through international league, so I actually played decent level back home. And I was kind of disappointed with the referees, actually. We actually had refereeing us, so I was never a good player to referees, although I was the Gary Lineker, I never got carded.
Yeah.
Maybe should have been a few times, but I was just a competitive player.
Pretty similar to me, the sort of never.
you know, for me it's about safety, and kind of I was never felt we were protected well enough, or they were a bit blasé about it. So as a women and girls officer back home, I kind of just part of my role took on the refereeing course, and it just really snowballed from there. Kind of you have to do games, really enjoyed it, did Sunday pub football league type thing, you know, so kind of was in the deep end part of it, and just really, kind of escalated and brought me over here. So until I stop enjoying it, I'll keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, now Connor, you're yet to score in the Southern League, as you mentioned, whilst top marksman and good friend Ryan Fleming has got 4. When do you see yourself getting on the score sheet?
What do you need to do to get on the score sheet?
I've had a few chances, to be honest. Probably just need to work on my finishing, I think. Everyone goes through droughts. I'm sure you boys have been through a few of your times.
No,
never.
Never. Genuinely never.
No, I back myself. I reckon I'll get one this weekend. Got a good feeling about it.
Yeah. And just last question, Ryan Fleming, is he your most important player? And if he's not, who is?
I wouldn't say he's the most important player. I think we've got a lot of important players, you know, as a whole team. He is an important player himself. He has been scoring goals. He's in good form, as I'm sure he's telling everyone. So.
Yeah, he loves to tell people, doesn't he?
We do hear that quite often.
It's good. Hopefully he keeps scoring.
Yeah, here's hoping. And Lindsay, just before we go, I would like to know, what's the best game you've ever reffed?
I suppose I have to say my FA Women's Cup final. I can't not really say that at Wembley, and you know, in front of still a record crowd as well. So just for everything of the occasion more than anything, and I didn't get anything wrong, which is always important. Yeah. And just because it was a good advert for the game actually as well. Chelsea Arsenal stuff. Chelsea won, so I'm not perfect to it, but you know, but I still treat every game as if that is a cup final. So. Because I hate making mistakes. Don't need a player to tell me to make a mistake, by the way. Just you know, I already know myself. But yeah, that's kind of fun. But yeah, that has to be the one, really.
That's a great game.
That's a very cool game. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we'll make that a wrap. Lindsay, Connor, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a ball. Rahan, thank you.
And thank you, Matt. And to our viewers, thanks for tuning in. And we hopefully will see you again next week.
And you can watch the full interview online at odt.co.nz. Still to come on the South today, 6 guided walk tour operators are under investigation. And we take a look at tomorrow's weather for you, so see you after the break.
Hi, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We have a massive manufacturer's clearance plus. There's liquidated stock from our suppliers. For example, we have cotton casual trousers from 1990, dress trousers from 1990, merino zip pullovers, fashion shirts, warm winter shirts, jackets. There's a great deal on overcoats, blazers and suits. Come and check out our jeans. We're known for our jean selection.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Come in and see the massive manufacturer's clearance at Alex Campbell Menswear.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Thanks for staying with us. 6 guided walk operators are under investigation to ensure they have not been gaming the Great Walks Hut booking system. Bookings for the Great Walks are sold on a first-in, first-served basis, with tour operators needing to include the full names and details of anyone they book on behalf of. The Department of Conservation says checks are being made to ensure that companies have not made incomplete or unauthorised speculative bookings. DOC says it was contacted after irregularities in the booking system were picked up. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Veteran activist returns to his roots and the scene of one of the 1981 Springbok Tour Games where he led protests against it. Student art is to the fore at the annual OUSA Art Week on the University of Otago campus. And about 20 teams of sled dogs are set to mush as hard as they can at Cadrona's Snow Farm at the South Island competition. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry. What have you got for us tomorrow?
Well, I can tell you, Mel, it was a beautiful day today, and I heard it was 18 degrees in Mosgiel this afternoon.
What, tropical Mosgiel?
Tropical Mosgiel, there you go. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I know.
Summer's on its way.
Spring.
Or at least spring.
Yeah, spring.
Anyway, on to more important matters. The Otago Daily Times has received images of which give the best view yet of what the new hospital may look like. Now, not the entire hospital, but parts thereof. So we have some images from exterior and interior. So interesting look at where that's at, and we're told that this is pretty close to where it's going to be. I mean, previously we've had a variety of images which were really just kind of placeholder images, not really telling us the full extent of what it could look like. So this one, have a look out for that. The other big story today was, of course, Jacinda Ardern revealing what the government is outlining as a way forward to COVID, where we can we travel, all those variety of questions we all want answered. So there's some detail there, so we'll have more on that in the paper tomorrow, so there'll be lots of interest in that. We came across a dramatic road spike and pepper spray arrest near the stadium in Dunedin this afternoon, so we were on hand for that and got some interesting photos from that event. And of course, probably no surprise to anyone, a local government expert is calling on ministerial intervention for the Invercargill City Council following what has been a rather dramatic week in politics and local body politics down that way.
Yeah, there's accusations flying backwards
lots
and
of
forward.
things happening there, so
Yeah.
and it's not over yet, so look out for that. So we got a teaser from the Chief Executive of the Dunedin City Council last night to say that there is something exciting happening in the former Smith City site in South Dunedin. Unfortunately, I can't tell you what that is because nobody's talking, but we're assured it's something exciting.
So watch this space.
Exactly right.
Wonderful, and you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time to look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
beginning with the southern view taken of this morning's sunrise from the Dunedin suburb of Kenmure. Looking at the situation, a few days of strong westerly airflow over the region will bring showers to the west and the south, but mostly dry, blustery weather elsewhere. Starting at the northwest of the South Island, showers and 13 degrees for Westport. Greymouth, it's also wet for you with rain and 13 degrees also. Moving across to the northeast, it's a wet day here as well with showers and 14 degrees for both Nelson and Blenheim. Heading down to Canterbury, Kaikoura escapes the rain with partial cloud and 12 degrees, whereas it's slightly warmer but wet in Christchurch and Ashburton with scattered showers and 13 degrees. Moving to the southern towns, it's an overcast day for all in this region with cloud and strong westerlies. The Catlins and Balclutha see a high of 13 degrees, Lumsden and Gore reach 12 degrees. Heading to the Central Lakes area, fresh westerlies, some cloud and 12 degrees for Queenstown, Wanaka and Alexandra. Te Anau can expect showers, strong westerlies and 11 degrees. Moving to the northern towns, fine weather with moderate westerlies along the coast for Timaru and Oamaru. Timaru sees a high of 14 degrees and Oamaru 13. Moving inland to Taizona Marama, it's fresh westerlies and some cloud with a high of 12 degrees. In Dunedin, brief rain tonight with a low of 7. Mostly fine and sunny tomorrow with some high cloud later and moderate westerlies. Pleasant temperatures throughout, a high of 13 and a low of 6. And it's going to be colder on Saturday with morning showers clearing and sunny periods increasing during the afternoon with fresh west to southwesterly winds easing later on. A high of 9 and a low of 4. And in Invercargill, showers tonight with a low of 9. Changeable weather tomorrow and Saturday with periods of cloud and showers at times, but also some brief sunny periods. Still looking at cool temperatures and strong gusty westerly winds prevailing near gale force at times in exposed places. Friday sees a high of 12 and a low of 8, while Saturday sees a high of 10 and a low of 7. And that's all from the South Today team for this Thursday. For the latest news from across the southern region, please head online to odt.co.nz. You can also join Channel 39 and Facebook on YouTube. Remember to like and subscribe to receive notifications of up-to-date content. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.